back to our channel 1134 Press, where we share bookmaking, journaling, and papercraft inspiration. So today we are making a receipt collage on eco-dyed paper for our nature-themed junk journal. This is an ongoing series. We have more videos in the description and also linked in the cards if you want to check out what we've created so far for our junk journal. So let's define some terms. First, what is a receipt collage? A receipt collage, which you've probably seen it online and on Instagram. It's where you do a collage on a roll of paper. And the purpose of this is so you can have some already made collages that you can tear and put onto your journals. I personally like them because, it kind of minimizes some time when I just want to go in and just start journaling or writing and want to just quickly decorate the page. You might have already seen some tutorials on making a receipt collage, but of course we're going to add a nature twist on it and eco-dye the paper. So I'm going to walk you through how to eco-dye with paper. So I'm not an expert on eco-dyeing. I just watched some other videos and did some research on some methods. And of course, per usual, I had to finesse some things. And one of the first things was finding rusty metal. I live in the middle of a city, and can you believe it? I could not find any rusty metal. So I actually had to rust my own can. So to rust a can, the first thing you want to do is sand the can down after you peel the label off, and then you spray it with just regular house white vinegar and let it sit for a week. During that week, I would go through and spritz it with a little bit more vinegar to try to expedite the rusting of the metal. So after the can was nice and rusty, I went outside and collected some leaves. I have no idea what these leaves are. They're just growing wild near my apartment. So I just grabbed those, hoping that they had enough pigment to dye the paper. I also used some red and yellow onion skins to add more pigment as well. So along with the rolled paper, I also wanted to see what would happen if I used different textures of paper. So the first sheet is watercolor, the second is an envelope, and the third is tea-dyed paper that we're going to eco-dye on. The window metal grate thing that you see, I used that for making a decal and mold for handmade paper. I ended up purchasing a different paper making decal and mold, so I just ripped that metal wire screen off of it and used it to wrap around our paper here. So in a pot that you won't cook with again, so use a pot that you don't care about, put in about 4 tablespoons of alum and 4 tablespoons of white vinegar in the water and let that boil. Once it starts boiling, you can submerge your can and paper. I let this sit for about 2 hours. So while our papers are boiling, I decided to make a little box to house our receipt tape. I went on Pinterest and found a template for a box. I'll link that in the description below. I printed it on this gray cardstock and then used some washi to reinforce the sides so it's a little decorated. And then I took the metal piece that comes with aluminum foil. I just cut a sliver of that off and attached it inside of the box, so it will make ripping the receipt tape a lot easier. 2 hours later, here are the results. So these are the results, and I'm super disappointed in how it came out. Yeah, it is, it looks like a fly swatter. Oh, boo. I think if I would have used like more pigmented leaves or flowers, it would end up looking different. But I mean, you can kind of see like some specks of color that came through. But you know, you live and you learn. This is my first time doing it. I do think though that, I mean, there's still like it's a pretty good base to do something else on. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess with the browns and the yellows, it's still a good base to do some other kind of collaging on top of it. So I'm gonna see if I could try to make this pretty for our receipt collage, but those were the results and I'm super disappointed. Oh, and this is what the transparency, yeah, no, what is this called? I think it is transparency paper. This is what this turned out as. So very yellow. I haven't cleaned it off yet, so there's still like rust on there. But honestly, I feel like I could have achieved this effect with just tea dyeing or coffee dyeing. So yeah. God damn you, leaves, you failed me. But you know what did come out pretty were the random bits that I put in there. So this was watercolor paper. I think this turned out really nice. And this is what the front looks like. This is the envelope that I had in there. I think this is like, I don't know what weight this paper is, but it has like a little bit of ridges on there. Like, I don't know. It is kind of a texture paper. I only had those bits boiling in there for maybe like 5 minutes, if that. But what I had wrapped around the can, I had boiled for 2 hours. So maybe that's what it is. I just over boiled it. But it's getting kind of late, so I can't recreate this project right now. So we're just gonna work with what we have. But I guess my tip is you don't have to boil it for 2 hours, apparently. And also watercolor paper works best for this method. And this is how the lined paper that was already tea dyed, this is how this came out, which still looks better than the actual rolled paper. So I'm gonna pop these into the oven and try to dry them quicker so we can start collaging. So after letting the papers dry, this is the result. I decided not to use the strip that I cut out originally for the receipt tape because it was just so blah. I'm going to cut the lined paper to use as the receipt tape for our collage. And I cut them about 2 inches wide, which is the length of the box. So this is a great time to tell you guys that the Wild Journal Challenge is still happening. It is for the entire month of September. There are 10 journaling prompts that you can use to inspire you in your journal entries. I will link our Instagram below so you can check out those prompts if you so choose to join me and journal with me. Instagram is another place where I post a lot of videos and photographs of my personal journals. So if you're interested in any of that, definitely give our page a look. So as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. We post videos every Wednesday, and we will see you next week. Thank you for watching.